That you won't be able to answer the question, something I couldn't quite hear you.
Right, you're asking me a very broad, general question. I'm not following what you're asking.
I think it's pretty set and standard. I mean, I think it's pretty simple.
Give me 1 second. See, you got on to me for interrupting you, and you won't let me finish my sentence. So I'm trying to answer your questions. The problem is they're so broad, and I can't answer them without knowing more details. I just don't have those answers for you.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out who you are to see what kind of letter you received.
Okay.
You haven't told me that either.
Okay, Keyana, Keyana.
Give me 1 second. Is that your last name?
My first name.
Okay, what's your last name?
Clark, Clark.
And what's the first letter of your first name? Was that a K?
Yes, K.
Okay.
Keyana.
Could you have put the complaint under a different name? I don't have a Miss Clark with
Key.
Oh, here we go. Middle name Nicole?
Yes.
Here it is. Okay. Got a no investigation letter. Regarding the letter you received?
Sergeant Jones, I didn't receive a letter. I heard one was sent out. I never got it. I'm not allowed to get my mail. Okay. And police want to investigate.
Give me 1 second. Can you verify your address for me, please? Read it out to you.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. If you want to read it out, go ahead.
Dear Ms. Clark, the Internal Affairs Division received a complaint you sent dated February 22nd, 2022. After review of the information provided, we were unable to establish a violation of departmental policies or procedures. As a result, it was determined no investigation is warranted. If you have any further questions, please contact Sergeant Nancy Jones, badge number 7167 of the Internal Affairs Division at 214-671-3986.
Okay. So can I ask a couple questions?
Sure.
Okay. Tampering with evidence is a felony. Is that correct?
Say that again.
Tampering with evidence is a felony?
I'd have to look it up, but it is illegal to tamper with evidence, sure.
Okay. Okay, and hindering prosecution is a crime?
Sure, if it comes to turning extent, sure.
Okay, so there's 6 police and the individual that from Internal Affairs. What was her name that did that? That sent me out the letter?
Well, this letter.
What was her name? The
letter is from Major Irina Lee, and it is telling you to contact Sergeant Nancy Jones if you have any more questions.
Okay, so whoever determined that it was no investigation committed a crime, tampering with evidence. The 6 officers that threatened to take me to jail to prevent me from reporting identity theft committed a crime. The police officers that had camera footage of me getting ran off the road at Family Place and would not investigate and told Family Place to send me to the bridge and not follow proper protocol and get me in a safe environment committed a crime. When I was arrested in Garland at the Texas Rangers for reporting child abuse and other crimes, they committed a crime. Hindering prosecution is a criminal offense. I have it recorded with my phone, have police tamper with evidence and will not take reports of the stalking. That's a criminal offense. Hindering a child custody agreement is a crime as well. They will not investigate it. Detective Perez keeps covering for it. It will not investigate it. He's committing a crime. But I think one of the most sickest things, is to threaten to take someone to jail for reporting identity theft. That's pretty crooked. And I don't get my mail. I've reported it and said that's a felony. To not give someone their mail, the post office would not give me my mail. I've done multiple holes, multiple organizations at different locations would not give me my mail, and I'm still not getting on my mail today, which is a felony. So if 6 armed police threatened to take me to jail because they were tampering with evidence and did not want me to report the identity theft, that is a criminal offense. And whoever denied investigation is committing a crime too. Not doing Law enforcement, you can't do that. That's a criminal offense to deny law enforcement and tamper with evidence and hindering the prosecution. Those are criminal offenses. In addition to that, when I'm arrested on these false charges, I'm violated and mistreated in jail. Civil rights are violated. My properties being tampered with and messed with and hid. So I'm destitute at release. So I can be threatened, mistreated, and violated. Multiple crimes are not being investigated. Why would Internal Affairs deem it not investigatable? That's a crime because they're tampering with evidence. That's criminal. So I need to figure out how these people get their charges, because if multiple parties in Internal Affairs want to cover for all this chaos, they're committing crimes as well.
Okay, so what is it that you wanted me to do for you?
This is Internal Affairs. We need to get to the bottom of who deemed it not to be no investigation because they're committing a crime.
Well, I just told you can contact. I can transfer you over to her.
Okay, so we also need to figure out why multiple parties are preventing my reports and won't do an investigation. Why, when I came into police headquarters on another time, would they deny me the right to talk to Internal Affairs? Why would they deny me the right to speak with a victim's advocate on the camera footage?
I don't know if they. I don't know if they denied you. We got a complaint from you.
No. When I tried to report the identity theft, they threatened to take me to jail on camera footage. I tried to
made a complaint about that, and it wasn't investigated. So that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, we're just going in circles now. Do you want to speak with her about that or no?
Well, to me, I think that is a travesty for our police department to be that corrupt, and then for people to ignore it and then gaslight me and mistreat me over the chaos. That's not normal. Right. But I can understand if it was like something extreme, like I witnessed someone commit a murder and then they did that. And then they're like, okay, then in terms of they threatened my arrest. But we're talking about reporting identity theft. 6 armed police. Okay, we're talking about being met at AT&T and then mistreated there and violate, so I can't report the chaos with my phone. We're talking about multiple marshals putting me out of the convention center so I can't have shelter, so I cannot report that my new battery pack, when I was fighting for my life and had to record all this chaos I experienced, came up stolen. Everyone else was there. I felt that I was targeted, just got the battery pack. That battery pack was critical because I would not believe my experiences had I not recorded them. That battery pack kept me from getting arrested and violated multiple times. I was arrested for catching the bus. Those are pretty crazy events that multiple parties keep covering for. That's it. Someone has enough power to abuse to where they arrested me for catching the bus. They lied and said I have a criminal trespass and nothing happened. They just did not want me catching the bus. Multiple police, maybe 10 or 11, and I have done nothing. It's on camera footage. So I want to get to the bottom with Internal Affairs to when people will get their charges, because whoever denied the investigation committed a criminal act. So we need to figure out where that stemmed from and get that investigated so they can get their charges and this can end and my abuse can finally stop.
Oh, it's a group of supervisors and the community police board.
I've already contacted them. The corruption is so big. She coerced me to not put things in the report. So it won't be as extreme as my experience.
Yeah, so those are the people who did.
Okay, so is there a particular reason why the government is so indebted on me being violated?
I can't answer that.
Well, you're Internal Affairs. You're Internal Affairs, sir. That's kind of your responsibility.
Again, I go back to the.
Well, we're talking about the police and how that's your responsibility to give me the education to know how to fight this corruption. That's this extreme.
But if you're saying that the police are who's corrupt, why are you taking advice from the police to fight the corruption?
Well, here's the thing: to oppress a citizen and take their right away to report crimes and violate them, break into their phone. I don't even know if there's cameras in here now, because in Hillsboro, in Itasca, Texas, there were cameras and that was getting ignored. So if a party, a stalker just wants to feel like he can do whatever he wants to do and have the police enforce it, I don't even know if they're here now. So I just don't think that it's okay for me to have to live my life knowing that the police stalk me and violate me and I don't have any rights and I can't have access to my daughter. I get denied investigation, regular phone service, and then, all of this is going on. I don't think it's okay. I haven't even moved on with my life because I've been on dates and I've been out and the police have been following me behind me and then shine their lights on us. And I was hoping and praying that party did not know that police was doing it because of me. And obviously they did, because he never did it again. We never went out again. And he was like, what in the world is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. But I knew exactly what was going on because they harassed me like that by myself.
You've already reported a lot of this stuff to the police department, right?
Right. And it's a crime for them to keep covering for it year after year.
Okay.
Remember, no investigation? I maybe I'm just, a little naive. I just never heard of the police taking away, the government taking someone's right to go to court away and the right to get mail. I thought those to me are pretty extreme. I didn't think that happened in the United States. But apparently it happens to, it's no big deal because people aren't really looking at it like it's as chaotic as I feel that it is. Where you just take the individuals, that's a felony. How do you get so corrupt to where you will not deliver this party mail? You go through it, take important things away, and it's just okay. I'm sorry?
I already answered a lot of these questions for you.
Well, sir, if police is denying me law enforcement, how am I going to report that I can't get my mail? You just asked me if I got the letter. I told you I did not. I can't get my mail.
Okay, so one, you can either contact the post office for post the police.
I did. I contacted the post office. They called the police like the police instructed them to do. They called the police to prevent my report and gave me a criminal trespass. That's what the police are telling them to do. They're following directions.
Those are my suggestions. You don't know what.
Your internal affairs, sir. This is like, here's the thing. It's your responsibility to find out why police are committing these crimes. If you're internal affair and you're refusing investigation, you're committing a crime.
You already made this complaint, and I read it out.
And you just said no investigation, so your internal affairs. We need to get to the bottom of who's committing the crime, tampering with evidence, covering for the crimes, hindering prosecution.
Your complaint is not going to be investigated by this office. If you would like to speak to Sergeant Jones, I can transfer you over. If not, there's nothing else I can help.
Okay, so it is your responsibility as internal affairs when you hear all this chaos going on, how I can't get my mail and how I reported it to the police and they tamper with evidence and told they instruct the post offices to call the police to enforce crimes. I believe the police are why these people are doing this. I believe the police are why my bank did not give me funds. Sir, when you go to your bank and you try to get your money out your bank account that you've been banking there 15 years, does your bank deny you your funds with ID and a social security card?
I'm not answering hypothetical questions, ma'am. If you would like to make another complaint.
I don't understand, sir, why you would behave in this manner and I have all these chaos going on. I don't understand why the police wouldn't take a report when my bank wouldn't give me money and I was destitute and afraid for my life. And I had the identity theft and I had food stamps stolen and the police won't investigate.
Ms. Clark, I've actually looked up in our system and it appears that you've made several reports. So I don't know why you're saying, give me 1 second, I don't know why you're saying that we haven't taken your reports. You've made there are at least 61 reports with your name attached to it. You've made very many reports, okay? It just sounds like you're just not happy with the outcome.
Okay, so if I made 61 reports, why hasn't an investigator called me? And with all this chaos,
I'm going to need you to answer this next question for me, and then we're going to be done here. What is it that you wanted me to do? You want me to transfer you Sergeant Jones, and you can explain to her, have her explain to you why your complaint wasn't investigated, or that conversation is just over because I just don't know how to help you. Do you want to speak to her or not?
Okay, I don't appreciate criminals taking control of the phone calls to keep me in abuse, and you're committing a crime because you have a responsibility with internal affairs hearing all this evidence, and you're tampering with evidence if you don't want me to have the education on how to report the chaos. You saw 61 things, 61 items that haven't been investigated, that don't have an investigator assigned to them. Tampering with evidence is a felony. You have a responsibility if you see corruption and crimes happening to report it. You're not doing it, which you're committing a criminal offense yourself.
Okay, do you want to speak to Sergeant Jones or not, ma'am?
Well, I want to get to the bottom of how to end this chaos.
I'm asking you, do you want to speak to Sergeant Jones or not?
What is Sergeant Jones going to do? That's the one that said that there was no investigation?
Yes.
Okay, so here's...
That's not who, hold on, that's not who said it. That is who I'm telling you you speak to if you have questions about that.
Okay, so...
Do you want to speak with her or not?
I have some questions. I don't know why so many parties rush me off the phone and won't let me get my question answers. I just want solutions.
We've been talking for 25 minutes and you've asked me a bunch of hypothetical, very general questions.
Well, sir, if some police pulled a gun on, hem me up and threaten my arrest for trying to report identity theft, I think that you should take the time out to make sure my questions are getting answered, and then they denied me investigation.
My answer to you is you can make a complaint about that. There's a couple different ways you can make a complaint. You can come up here and fill out a complaint.
Okay, you wouldn't let me finish.
Hold on, I'm not done. You can come up here and sign a complaint form and have it sent to Internal Affairs. You can ask to speak to Internal Affairs Detective. You can do it online, DallasPoliceDepartment.net, and just follow the instructions under the File a Complaint tab. Or you can mail us a letter addressed to the Internal Affairs Division. Those are the three ways you can make a complaint. That answers all your questions that I have.
No, it didn't. Okay,
yes.
So I don't have
anymore. So is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I wanted to go over those. I wanted to make sure I have clarity on the different ways that I can report the crimes. Okay, and the issues with internal affairs. You there? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just trying to figure out the best method for me. Okay, so I can't do the mail because I send out certified letters, and I can't get my mail properly. I don't have right to regular postal services. I don't have that right, so that's not an option. I came in to try to do a report in person, and they did threaten me with trying to speak with internal affairs and would not let me. So that's not always an option because they have it that way to prevent someone from talking to internal affairs on your camera footage. So on my phone, I don't have proper access to internet like most citizens do. So I've contacted the CIA and multiple other places, and I haven't had responses. I've made reports to CPS on my phone and reached out to other people on my phone, and I don't have rights to normal phone service. I'm just trying to get the best solution, sir.
Well, I'm not going to go over. I mean, those are the only ways that you can make a complaint, and you're telling me that there's absolutely no way of you being able to make a complaint.
Well, we would need to get to the bottom of why I can't have postal services, why I reported that I've sent out certified letters that parties never got, and why the post office won't deliver my mail, and why police won't investigate it. So that I don't understand how I'm going to move forward, sir, if I can't report crimes and multiple police and government agencies are tampering with evidence, committing crimes to keep me in bondage and abuse. Well, you're committing a crime then because you're internal affairs. You have no right to decide not to investigate and report criminal activity. That's your responsibility. So you're tampering with evidence, and you're also committing a crime of hindering prosecution for these people.
Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't know why you would risk your livelihood, sir, by committing these crimes to cover for these things that are supposedly not happening. You saw 61 reports, and how many investigators have you seen assigned for 61 reports? Well, if you're preventing me from getting justice, then in your internal affairs, why would you not want me to know my investigator like they wouldn't tell me in person? Are you refusing law enforcement? I want solutions. If you see 61 reports and you said that they were doing something, where's the investigator for the 61 reports?
I don't think I'll be able to help you then. So, is there anything?
Okay, sir, you're committing a crime. Why do you guys not want me to know the investigators assigned for all these reports? If there's 61, there's a problem. And if you're hindering prosecution and tampering with evidence, that's a felony.
If you don't answer this next question, I'm just going to hang up the phone. Do you want to speak with
Well, here's the problem, sir. People keep doing that for years, and you guys are committing crimes. You just can't decide to cover up for 61 reports that you want to hang up because you don't have an answer on an investigator. CPS just can't decide because they can't find 20 missing reports, and the police tell them to call the police to enforce that abuse. These are criminal activity. You people just can't keep hanging up in my face year after year. Right. I don't have rights. I have sent letters. You're not listening. I don't have rights. Police won't investigate why I can't get my mail. They threatened me for trying to go speak with internal affairs and prevent me from speaking with internal affairs and commit.
Giving you the information of the person that you need to speak with, and you're refusing to speak with this person.
Jones, she's already stated that there was no investigation for all this chaos, so she's corrupt. Why would I continue to speak with her?
But you already spoke with her. That's something you didn't tell me until just now. Why did you keep that information?
Then, sir, I think that, this is not okay. So I want you to know what happened with the 61 reports. Why I don't have investigators assigned for 61 items getting ran off the road. Why would the police deny me investigation for someone threatening me on a train and the train driver locking me in while I was getting threatened by multiple people? Why on DART when I got threatened again with a bus driver and police cover for it? Has the police department and government agencies been setting up my mental breakdown with mistreating me and having all this chaos and scare tactics and oppressing me? So is the police department, why would the police department cover up for me getting threatened multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a day? Robberies, pickpocket, attack. Why would they cover for chaos like that? Get a new tent that's stolen and then not take the report. Everyone else's tent is there happy-go-lucky, nothing's going on, but I get a new tent, afraid for my life, having to be outside, can't get housing anywhere because the police department's behind it. They're so corrupt, they just arrested me so I couldn't have an apartment and then lied on Salvation Army. So any particular reason why when he hung up. Tampering with evidence is a felony. I just cannot believe this is reality. I just cannot. It is, you could just say this is just on the phone. No, they did it in person. Hell, I have never heard of corruption that big to where the government will not deliver you your mail. And just forget it. Say, forget the Constitution. She's not going to court. And I'm still going through it. So I guess they're saying they're not going to investigate crimes. I can't see my daughter. Everyone's going to get away with it. They can stalk me and violate me. And I just can't do nothing. Just sit in and marinate. Can't get my mail properly. It's theft, whatever's going on with this card that has money on it. Multiple other situations like that occurred. And they just take the rights away. I mean, who steals child support? Why would the government steal child support payments? I have received partial payments multiple times and a big lump sum came up missing. They don't want me to report it and will not investigate it. I'm amazed. I don't know what else to say.